Welcome to the Writers Corner live show. On the Writers Corner live show, we connect authors from around the globe to each other and to their readers. Readers are able to find and explore new authors to love. You will meet both seasoned as well as new and aspiring authors on the show. And so today, we invite you to get the backstory of our featured author of the week, none other than Nikki Jacobs. She's from my hometown, Cape Town in South Africa, and author of the book Mean Cow. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. If you are just joining us, welcome to the show. This is episode 67 of the Writers Corner live show. I'm your host, Brigetti Limbanda from Cape Town in South Africa. I'm a live video camera confidence coach, and I host and produce live video shows that helps brands, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and of course on this show, authors to share their beautiful stories. I'm also a responsible social media advocate. My co host is Mary Elizabeth Jackson. She is the award winning author of the children's Poolicious book series. She's an author and also writing a movie screenplay at the moment. She is a wife and also the mother of three beautiful inspirations, and she's also a special needs and disabilities advocate. And Mary lives in Nashville in the USA. So do let us know where you're from. Mary, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. Good evening to you. Good morning to me. And I'm excited about our show today. I'm so excited that we have a local author on from your area of the world. So exciting.
I know that's something that hasn't happened very often, so I'm delighted to have someone from Cape Town in South Africa on our show today.
Uh,
Nikki says that she's had numerous titles given to her over the years, such as mother, wife, daughter, sister, aunt, and friend. But she says what describes her best is that something she's most passionate about, and that's her creative writing. Also, the development of people. She loves gardening and being involved in community programs. So, as an entrepreneur, her business called Skylar Projects has evolved into what she's passionate about. She consults in the tourism sector and provides training, development, and mentoring to small to medium sized enterprises. She also oversees a private testing center, one of three in South Africa. More recently, she started a spekboom project giving away these little gems as a means of helping the environment. 2019, she says, has also been a huge year for her personally. She decided to study honors in English full time after being out of the university space for 23 years. Wow.
mm,
And she's also self published her second book called Mean Cow. And we're going to ask her a little bit about that. Shall we invite her onto the show?
absolutely. Hi, Nikki.
Hello, ladies.
Hi. It's so nice to have you. Can I ask you a question? Is what age is your book for?
So it's up to age 8 years old.
Eight. Okay. Yes. Because I love the cover. It's beautiful. And I just wondered because covers sometimes are deceiving when they're children's, because sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what age they're for.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, Brigetti was reading your bio, and so you oversee one of 3 testing centers in your country. So what is that? I know it's not about the book, but I was curious as to what that's about.
So, and our client is actually an American client.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's 3 private test centers. We oversee one, which is in Cape Town. And so it's professional-based testing that we oversee. So, for example, if a nurse wanted to practice in Saudi, she'd have to do her entrance test at our test center.
Oh, very
So
interesting.
yeah. So it's all highly specialized testing that gets done.
Wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So, your Mean Cow is your second book. What
So
is it that
second book.
made you want to become a writer?
First of all, I think when I did my first book, it was basically my kids inspire you. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, you tend to do things that is centered around. And I've got 2 boys. I mean, they're much older now. They're not kids anymore. They 21 and 14. But so I tend to do things that's around them. I mean, not that either one of them are mean cows or anything like that, but but it's just that rhyming, because both my books that I've done, and especially this one now, they both are written in rhyme. And
Yeah,
rhyming is so important, and it's the
right.
foundation for language learning in kids.
Yes, absolutely. I love
And
rhyming.
and so this is why I wrote in rhyme, and I think we're not seeing enough of rhyming being done in schools.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree. And it's funny because rhyming, and I write that way either. I mean, also, I try to write from the viewpoint of children and
Yeah,
how they hear things, and what the things that help them remember is that repetition and hearing it over and
exactly.
over and over again. And I agree with you that there's some of this that's missing now,
Yeah,
and it's missing. This not just your country, but not just my country. It's pretty
yeah,
much everywhere that
yeah.
it's missing. And think about the funny words that are in Dr. Seuss. He's one of my favorites because he's that
Exactly.
example of exuding the wonderment and innocence of childhood.
Yeah.
And those funny words we intend to remember, don't we?
Yeah. But it's also the fun in reading. And that's what
Yes,
writing does. It draws kids in so that they can learn in a fun environment. And now it's not fun anymore. Reading is
right,
not fun anymore. It's become a chore, you must read. But
right.
had we, if we are still doing it in a fun way, if we are doing it in a lyrical way, because that's what rhyming does. It creates this lyrical movement. And I remember as a child, you learn silly rhymes, Humpty Dumpty, Jack and Jill. But 40 years, 45 years later, and I still remember the same rhymes.
Right, right.
And that's it. It reinforces the fun in it. It reinforces the musicability in it as well, which
Mm-hmm.
we don't have now.
And that's the stuff you remember for life. It
Right.
never
Exactly.
goes, it never goes away.
I know.
Exactly.
I remember a song I learned at 4 years old in Montessori school, Frere Jacques, in French.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
I
Yes.
still remember it. I'm 52, you know?
And that's the thing. So
Oh
you
my
remember
goodness.
it. I mean, there's one rhyme that I learned. I think I must have been 8 years old. And it was called Little Johnny Don't Care.
Mhm.
Um, and I remembered, little Johnny don't care, wouldn't brush his hair, wouldn't tuck his shirt, and his clothes were everywhere. The irony is, I married a Johnny.
Oh, is he like that?
Yes, it's like that. And it was one of my favorite rhymes. I mean,
Oh.
I loved it. And I'm married to a Johnny now.
Do you say it to him all the time?
you know,
Oh
it's the
my
fun thing.
goodness.
that rhyming does. It is, and we're missing that. I think we're fundamentally missing that, because rhyming allows you to create words. It allows you to think.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What rhymes with cat? And these are the games that I used to play with my kids.
Yes.
If they learn a new word, what rhymes with cat? And even if you make up the word,
Yeah, I
it's
love making up words. Yes, it's a
and
lot of
I
fun.
tell them, make up a word and create your own definition. What does it
Hmm.
mean?
Yes,
You know,
I know.
That
um,
is
I'm with
that is
I'm with
awesome.
you.
I wanted to say a quick welcome to our live audience on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope. Just know that we are watching your comments. And a quick shout out to our youngest fan in India, Hamad. A huge big welcome.
oh
He's watching us
wow.
on YouTube. He's from Pakistan. Yes,
Mm.
of course I remember you. Hamad's asking me, do I remember him? Hamad, I do remember you. Absolutely. He's from Pakistan and he's 13 years old and he's watching us. And so he says hello to you, Nikki.
Hi.
Oh, how sweet! And his parents, his
That
parents
is
are
those.
his parents are responsible with their social media and monitoring
Okay.
him. I think we've had
Yeah.
that conversation before, which is fantastic because I
Yeah.
just read a whole article about like the 7 reasons that anybody, any kids under high school age should not be privy to any social media because of what all it does to children. And, it's interesting because as parents, I think we think about those things. And I know Brigitte does a lot of talking about social media and that
Yeah.
responsibility factor. But when you start seeing, people write about it and then they've got
Yeah.
all this stuff to back it up, so anyways, but I'm glad he joins us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Nikki, what do you think being able to write has helped you as a person in some way? Would you encourage other people to try it?
Of course, I think, writing is an outlet, first of all. I mean, I write um, just as a means of coping on a day-to-day basis.
The
I
therapy.
write, yeah, it's therapy. I mean, I write for fun. I write as a means to escape. I write as a means to create another world for myself. Um, and the thing about writing is there is no rules. If you're writing for yourself, there are no rules really.
I know.
It's just a way of it really is a way of coping.
Yes. And
So
it's good to do that. And then, but when you go try to write in a book, and sometimes the editing part of it wants to
oh
take away those things. And it's like, no, I'm being creative because I come up against that. I just did with
yeah,
something I submitted. And I was like, okay, but I want to do this because I can break the rules and I am writing and I'm being creative. And this is for children because they have
yes,
no boundaries.
yes,
They
exactly.
they don't see those boundaries and they don't know those. And so it's like,
Yeah,
think about my little guy, I have a 6-year-old, him skipping around saying silly words,
yeah,
and I think it keeps us young to write this way. It keeps us in that
it does.
mindset of youth, and that's healthy for everybody,
Yeah, yeah,
no matter what your age is. It's very
yeah.
healthy to be in that mindset because it's lighthearted and it's easy and it's
And
innocent and it's fun. And
and that's what kids need. They don't need, they can wait until they 20 to become serious. But when they are developing, that you need, and you learn by fun in any case.
yeah.
Kids need to learn by fun. So rhyming is what it's fun. It's a fun way to learn. It's a fun way to read. And I had a young girl read the book about a month ago, and she was 11 years old. And I recorded her reading, and I was completely shocked because she struggled to read the book. And she
Oh,
was
wow.
11 years old, and it's a simple book. It's not difficult. It's easy rhyme schemes, and she struggled to read. And
Hmm.
she
That's
didn't
I
quite
think that's quite
understand.
indicative of the era we're living in. As we
Mm-hmm.
mentioned in the beginning, young
Yeah,
people are not reading as much as they need to, and it's a foundation. It's a foundation of everything we do in life is the ability to read and read with understanding.
And
yeah.
they're watching videos. This is what kids are doing. They're watching videos.
So you're not actually, I mean, there are educational videos out there, but it
Right.
makes you a lazy reader as well.
Right, but I'm saying kids are spending more time watching all these silly videos coming through on,
Yes.
this various social media outlets. I mean, I know
Yeah.
my older girls do, and like every time I'm with them, Mom, look at this, and it's funny. I like, let's read,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, let's read something, So we come from that time of reading a lot and writing a lot of papers.
Yes. Yes.
So we were trained that way, and then we've got this whole culture that is just nothing but, we're here. I mean, it's amazing to me when I go out places or whatever with friends and I see all the adults like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like a bunch of teenagers, You
Yeah.
guys, let's put them down and let's talk to each other.
And that becomes hard
So
sometimes.
Yes.
Hamad's got a question for you. So my
Yes.
question was going to be, Nikki, can you hold up your book? And I wanted to
Sure.
ask you why you decided to self-publish your book. I'm going to
Mm.
put you on full screen. So I want to know about why you decided to self-publish. And then Hamad is wanting to know,
Yes.
can you hold up the book again? So I've got you on full screen now.
Mm.
Hamad wants to know, is your book going to be available elsewhere? He wants to know if he could get it in Pakistan.
Unfortunately not, but you could send me a message and I could post it to you.
Mm.
That would be the other way to get it to you, though. So it's only available. In fact, because I'm self-published, I sell it by postage. So people just inbox me. I do little events, and I've got one event coming up now on the 1st of December. It's the Belgium consulate is having a little kiddies day, and
Mm.
so I'll be doing my book there at their kiddies day.
Oh, cute. That'll be
And
interesting.
so, and the reason I self-published, I think, is because when I self-published my first book, I thought I was tired of people telling me, no, we can't publish a book. Um, and no, we only publish 20 titles per year, and we'll only consider you if you've been previously published. Now, it doesn't make sense. I cannot be previously published if you're not going to allow me to
Right.
be published.
Did you look for a publisher outside of South Africa or just where you are?
Just where I am, and in
Okay.
South Africa, so I must have gotten probably like, oh my gosh, 15 rejection letters
Uh-huh. Okay.
the first time. And it was okay. I mean, you kind of get annoyed in the
I
beginning
know.
because they're
Right.
telling you that we love it, but unfortunately, we only do previously published.
So you need to
Uh,
look outside if you want to go that route. You need to look outside of
yeah,
your country because there are a bazillion publishers out there
yeah,
and literary agents. And normally, like that typical send out is between 30 to 50 to 30 to 50
yeah,
publishers.
yeah,
And so you are going to hear a lot of rejections. And then sometimes you don't hear anything at all from publishers.
yes,
And you're right, you have to get published in order to be previously published, which
yeah.
is a very, it's kind of unfair, but I wouldn't give up if I were you. I would keep
Oh
searching
no, no.
outside.
So yeah, but so my approach now is it's totally different because my second book, which is Mean Cow, that I published was funded. So it wasn't out of my pocket. So that was the great.
Oh,
That
that's
was that.
nice.
Was good. So I was funded by the National Library of South Africa. So they funded me to print the books and everything, to get it edited as well. And then this was my first book that I actually illustrated as well.
Oh, fun.
Did
And
you
I'm not an
self-illustrate?
illustrator. I'm
She
not an
said she
illustrator.
did. She
I
did. And
am.
I've thought about doing the same thing because waiting for an illustrator takes so long and you're just like,
Exactly.
you write it and you like, okay, I see it in print already. I want it out there. I love it, and then you have to wait for the illustrator. So it's funny. I had that thought the other day and I thought, oh my gosh, these would be horrible pictures because I can't draw. So it would definitely look like it was from a kindergartner, but
Yeah.
anyways.
But it forces you to take control of your own creativity, though.
Right, it's true. So I love it. Can you open some pages for us so we can see?
So let's see. So that's my cow.
It's adorable.
Yep. Look at them udders. Oh, let's see. And that's some flames.
You
It's
did a
scattering
great
light.
job. I love it.
Oh, it's trying to make a little dust angel now because the grass is gone.
Oh, oh.
So yeah, and I think my hardest one was trying to do a collection of cows.
You did amazing. I am so amazingly impressed. I don't know that I could do that. I think your next book needs to be called "Look at Those Udders." That needs to be your next one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
goodness, that is an
but
absolute hoot.
so really with this book, I had complete creative control over it. Um, because the funding was extremely last minute, and I sent them the manuscript, and they said, "Oh no, but where are your illustrations?" I'm like, "What?" And she says,
Oh,
"Like, can you give me sample illustrations?" I'm like, but when do you need it?" She's like, "Oh, you've got 3 days." I'm like, the entire book?" She's like, "No, no, 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 no. Just about 6 or 7 illustrations." I'm thinking, I can't even do one illustration, but okay, let's do this. And I was forced into it, and I managed to illustrate the
I
entire
love
book.
it. You are Wonder Woman.
Awesome.
I love
You
it.
know, so yeah, so you can do it. You know, I just think if anything, it's proven that there are no limitations. If you want to get something done, you've got to do it yourself.
Right. Well, and sometimes you have to call in a team to produce what you're wanting to produce.
Yeah,
But yes, you had to take control of it. And you're an inspiration to me because I just had this very conversation with myself the other day. And so you're an inspiration. I'm not sure my drawings will look as good as you. I do good stick people. I'll just do a stick people book. That's what I'll do.
well, you never know. Well, I mean, that's inspirational as well. You know.
Oh my goodness. Nikki, you wear so many hats. What is the craziest thing you've ever done as an entrepreneur in your business life?
Oh my gosh. I've done there's so many. I think one of the things that I've done, and I was chatting to someone about this a few weeks ago. Um, I've always been self-employed for as long as I can remember, and I've done a bit of contract work here and there. But one of the craziest things I must have done was stand in a store window as a mannequin dressed in a leather outfit from pants to jacket with a light on me and being dead still
How
for
so you're one of those window models or whatever they call them.
I think when I mean, this is probably like about 20 years ago that I had done this. Um, but the life of the entrepreneur, and I've become that now because I think when you're self-employed, you're only employed for yourself. But when you become an entrepreneur, you provide employment for others as well. And that's what the entrepreneur is for me. But I've always been a go-getter, and I've always, if you need to put bread on the table, then you got to do something to put bread on the table, and that's just what it's about. So I've done many things. I've lectured before, I've written before, I've worked in retail before. um, Probably just about, I mean, everything I can think of, I've just really involved. I've been a waitress. I think we've all wanted to, done some waitressing.
Yes. I still have
You know,
nightmares. Still have nightmares of all these
my,
tables and I can't get the food out fast enough. Those are the nightmares I have still 20,
so I
30
think,
years later.
so I think, now I'm still consulting, but now I think I'm doing, eventually I'm doing things that matters and that I love doing. And so one of the things now is planting, giving away spekbooms. I don't know if you know, but the little spekboom that is indigenous to South Africa. So it
No, what does
in
that mean? What does that mean exactly?
it's a little a plant. So directly translated, it would be called a bacon bush or a pork bush, but it's actually an elephant bush, and it's found in the Eastern Cape. So it's indigenous to South Africa, and it's a means of combating climate change because it produces more oxygen than if you had to scale it to the same size as the Amazon, it would produce, I think it's 3 times the amount of oxygen that the Amazon produces.
Okay, so you are
Amazing.
that is amazing. So then you are giving them out across the continent. I mean,
Whoever wants them, if
can
you
I
want,
can we have one? You send me one?
so we're giving it away for free.
I'm gonna put it in my backyard. How big does it get?
Well, it grows into a bush. It depends on how you want to grow it. And it literally just break a stick off and you stick it in the soil and it just grows. It's one of those low
Wow. It's
maintenance,
amazing.
Oh yeah,
water wise plants.
yeah. I want one.
So,
That's all
so,
I
I,
want for Christmas.
so we're giving it away for
So
free.
Nikki,
Yes.
that is wonderful.
That is,
Nikki, if you had a magic wand, if there's
Oh
one
gosh.
thing you could change about your life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
I know
I
she likes
don't.
to stump. She likes to do these stump questions that get you, doesn't it?
No, I wouldn't change anything. I think where I am today is because of where I've been and my path that I'm still continuing. I'm happy with the path that I'm taking. So where I've been, it's all been life lessons, and that's okay. I think the quicker you are to accept what you are and where you've been and what you've done, the quicker you can move on in life.
Mm,
So
Awesome.
yes.
so yeah, so I don't think I would change anything really. I think just be a bit more
It's
flexible.
a good place to be in if you
Yeah,
feel that way about your life. Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Good
Nikki, how
advice.
can people get copies of your book?
So at the moment, besides me going to events, people are now just inboxing me, and I'm just posting it off to whoever wants. And if you collect it from my house, you get a spekboom, you get a elephant bush tree to go with it.
I am in. All right. So where do they inbox you at? Do you have
You can
email?
inbox
You have
me
Facebook?
on Facebook. So I've got a Mean Cow, How Now Mean Cow Facebook page.
Okay, how
And
now, mean
people
cow?
can just directly message me on that Facebook page, which is what's been happening. And so I've just been posting whoever wants a book, I'll just send it off via post.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. How fun this is. It's so I know Brigetti and I both love meeting people and interviewing them and talking to them about their lives and their journeys because everybody, even though we are all connected and we're all the same, we all come in different packages and we all have different things that drive us and different experiences. And so it's so much fun to hear about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And thank you,
That is
Brigetti. This has
awesome.
been great fun.
Big pleasure. Nikki, I know that Mary asked you the question in the beginning, but for people watching now and they want to get the book,
Yeah.
what age group again is the book aimed at?
It's aimed at age up until age 8. And I think if you are struggling, if you have a kid that's struggling with reading, and they are still young, then it's a good idea for them to read the book as well, just to get them to understand how rhyming works. And that's really the focus, is just to get kids to understand the importance of rhyming, really.
Right. And so with the mean cow, are you focusing on bullying or being nice or do you have what is
It's
your
it's a bit of a cow that's quite nasty, and she doesn't
Mhm.
like sharing. And so, but she makes these fantastic meals with her green grass. So that's the creative part. So she makes green grass burgers and green grass shakes and green grass. Oh, it sounds vegan actually. Um, so it's a vegan book, guys. It's a vegan book.
But you can get a bacon bush though, right?
Yeah. So she doesn't want to share her precious grass, and then something terrible happens one day, and she doesn't know who to turn to.
Mm,
And so
very
then
good.
it's about, okay, maybe she does have to share. And so people will help you out also. And so she gets help from people that she least expect would help her. And so it's really about community. Sometimes people will help you, a stranger will help you, and you least expect help from a stranger. So that's really what the book is about.
Nice.
The
I
lesson in there.
love it.
It's a lesson, yeah.
Love it. It's not your, there's a million books out there, and this has a different turn and a different,
Yeah,
message to it in the way that it's done. I love it. It's great.
yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so awesome. Nikki, thank you for being a guest on our
so
show
much.
today.
Thank you
Really
so much.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
me. I
watching,
enjoyed
everyone.
it. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone, and thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Oh, she left.
It seems we've had some technical glitches some end, and so I apologize for that. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day further, and we will see you back again next week on the Right Live Show. So again, from me for the second time, it's goodbye and have a great evening or afternoon.